We'll use a regulated supply chain as our anchor example. Manufacturers, distributors, retailers, regulators, and auditors sharing trusted data through Hyperledger Fabric. As the module unfolds, each architecture choice will connect back to real business, compliance, and operating needs. You've now seen Fabric from several angles: architecture, chain code, deployment, operations, identity, governance, compliance, and industry use cases. In this scenario, we'll bring those pieces together for organizations that need shared trust, selective privacy, verified transactions, and auditable processes. Picture a regulated product moving from supplier to factory, then through logistics, storage, and retail. Each organization has its own systems and incentives, but they all need a trustworthy history. Hyperledger Fabric provides a shared, permissioned record of key events while controlling who can see what. Regulators and auditors can verify provenance without taking over day-to-day operations. This kind of supply chain sits between a centralized database and a public blockchain. No single company should control the record, but participants also cannot expose everything to everyone. Fabric fits because it combines shared truth with permission control. Identities are known, transactions can require endorsement from the right parties, sensitive data can remain private, and history stays auditable. The result is a governed system for trust, compliance, and repeatable business rules. In a Fabric supply chain network, every participant has a specific role in the design. Suppliers and manufacturers create the core product and certification records. Logistics teams add custody, location, temperature, and storage events. Retailers and distributors verify receipt, eligibility, recall status, and compliance. Regulators and auditors need trusted evidence without changing operational data. These boundaries shape who runs peers, who endorses transactions, who sees private data, and who participates in governance. A shared network only succeeds when value is balanced. Each participant needs a reason to contribute accurate data, not just consume it. Manufacturers gain provenance, counterfeit protection, and easier compliance reporting. Logistics teams get trusted handoff records and fewer shipment disputes. Retailers can verify authenticity and respond faster to recalls. Regulators and auditors gain reliable evidence without rebuilding records manually. The design goal is shared value, so cooperation becomes the rational choice. Transparency does not mean everyone sees everything. The network separates facts needed for trust, such as product identity, batch status, custody events, certifications, and recall flags, from sensitive data such as pricing, formulas, supplier terms, or customer lists. Each participant operates across a trust boundary. Competitors, partners, regulators, auditors, and platform operators receive only the visibility their role allows, using channels, private data collections, identities, and access controls. The blockchain is most useful at the moments where trust crosses organizational boundaries. Production creates provenance at the batch, lot, or serial level. Shipment and custody transfers show who controlled the item and when. Inspections add compliance evidence before storage or sale. If a recall or audit occurs, teams can query the shared history quickly instead of reconciling separate records across suppliers, logistics providers, warehouses, and retailers. Provenance begins before manufacturing. Suppliers record source materials, component identifiers, country of origin, and certificates. Manufacturers then add batch creation, production events, testing results, and product IDs. Inspectors or certification bodies can attest key milestones, such as release approval or verified compliance. Chain code ties these updates together by checking required fields, submitter authority, valid status changes, and endorsement policies, so every finished batch has a traceable, compliant history. Once production is complete, the main risk shifts to preserving proof of custody and condition. Each handoff should capture sender, receiver, time, location, quantity, and shipment ID. Condition data from IoT devices or enterprise systems adds evidence such as temperature, humidity, shock, seals, and GPS. In storage, status changes like quarantine, release, or disposal must be authorized. Smart contracts enforce these rules and block duplicates, invalid transfers, and suspicious exceptions. Exception management is where traceability proves its value. Imagine a temperature breach during transport. A sensor alert triggers inspection, the affected lot is quarantined, and the ledger helps identify where it came from, where it is now, and who received related shipments. If risk is confirmed, recall actions and regulator notifications can be coordinated quickly. Because each status change is recorded as an event, decisions remain visible, time-stamped, and auditable. Oversight depends on trustworthy evidence and controlled access. Audit trails should capture who submitted each record, when it happened, what identity and policy applied, and whether later reports relied on it. Regulators may need dashboards, exception reports, batch histories, or recall evidence. Auditors may need read-only views, hashes, or evidence exports. The key design choice is separating routine operational queries from formal submissions while protecting confidentiality and honoring governance agreements. Before choosing channels, identities, or smart contracts, translate the use case into constraints. Who may see each category of data? What proof must exist for audits, recalls, certifications, or regulators? Who can join, leave, approve policy changes, and resolve disputes? Retention is especially important. Blockchain history is hard to erase, while privacy rules often require minimization. These answers directly shape the ledger model, private data design, reporting approach, and consortium operating rules. Operational requirements turn a compliant design into a usable enterprise system. Start by matching latency to the workflow. Routine shipment updates can wait seconds, but recall alerts may need immediate propagation. Then define availability by geography, SLAs, and recovery expectations. Integration is often the hardest constraint, because the network must fit ERP, warehouse, transport, manufacturing, identity, and regulator systems. Finally, plan analytics separately, using indexing, streaming, exports, or data lakes when on-chain data alone is not enough. The reference case is now clear. Regulated goods move through many organizations, each with different incentives, data rights, and oversight needs. Those business realities define the workflows, trust boundaries, privacy model, compliance needs, and operational requirements. Next, we'll translate them into technical architecture decisions for the network, smart contracts, data, integration, and governance.